Well, there are some big prizes, of course, to be handed out in world football today. The Unity Cup is about to be awarded for only the third time here in its history, but it's not necessarily the trophy itself, it's what it means, it's everything that's gone into winning it, it's the moments that they've been able to share with their supporters, many of whom, of course, aren't normally able to watch their team in action in person. All of that will matter so much more, and that's the case for all the sides that have been involved in this competition, not just the winners, but for Nigeria it is a little bit extra special, perhaps. You can see from the reaction of the players that this is more than just a friendly tournament. This is something they will always remember and look back on fondly. Whatever happens in the fledgling careers of many of those involved, and indeed some of the more experienced players will still soak up these moments as well. A nation that have been champions of Africa 3 times previously, who qualified again for the AFCON in Morocco at the end of this year. They've now won 4 of their last 5 internationals. If you factor this one in from the penalty spot as well. Nation who qualified for 6 of the last 8 World Cups, but they missed out agonisingly, of course, to Ghana in 2022, last time around. Missing out for the first time in 16 years. They are desperate to ensure there won't be a repeat next year. That was the reason, really, for the appointment of Eric Schell. Anything else is a bit of a bonus. The former Malian manager, was appointed only a week into January on a 2-year contract. He remains unbeaten in charge. His previous job was in Algeria with the club side MC Oran. Lasted only 13 games. He will hope this is the start, though, of a lengthier tenure, a more successful spell. The hopes of a nation. Previous full-time manager Panini George, a player of real repute for the Super Eagles, left last summer after just 2 games in charge. The technical director, Augustin Eguivan, steadied the ship and took over late last year before the appointment of Eric Schell. He's about to watch his team lift the trophy already. We'll hope it will provide them with the momentum going forward into those World Cup qualifiers, and indeed later in the year at the AFCON. Recent results prior to his appointment have been somewhat underwhelming, hence the latest coaching change. He was in constant dialogue really throughout the game, wasn't he, with Ruben Ricardo, the 4th official. He's all smiles at the end of it. All's well that ends well for Nigeria. So I think we're almost ready then for the presentation. They're all just walking past the trophy. Have a look at what they're about to get given. A committee made up of representatives from all the nations involved in the organisers of this competition, which has been a resounding success, I think it's fair to say, on and off the field. Celebration of community, bringing together different footballing cultures, and a shared love of the game. No real losers at the Unity Cup, but we do have winners in Nigeria. Another who made his debut, Felix Agu, until last week wasn't sure whether he was going to be able to do so, whether he'd be allowed to do so, but he played his part as well. Many others coming off the bench to have their say later in the game. 5 from 5 from the penalty spot. So congratulations indeed to the Super Eagles. He's still got a bit of organising to do, hasn't he, Eric Schell, before his players come up. They are eager to get up there and lift it. satisfaction at the end of what at times was an awkward evening for his team. None of the Nigerian supporters have been going anywhere, waiting behind at the GTEC to join in with the celebrations and to enjoy this moment. Party being addressed. No wait. What a spectacle of football it has been. Those are the sentiments I think being shared just at the moment. Ball still being introduced to the supporters that have stayed. Congratulations being offered to Eric Schell and his side. Silverware to start, just 4 games into his reign. And his coaching staff get busy throughout the course of that contest, earning their reward now as well. Bodes well, doesn't it, the nerve that his side showed from the spot to dig deep and find a way to win it. Plenty involved, it's been a big effort behind the scenes. Those nations didn't have an awful lot of preparation, at least for the semi-final. Straight into the action after arriving in the country. Squad's bolstered by a number of players based in the UK, but there were many, 10 on each team of the 2 finalists that were based in the domestic divisions. They will have learnt a lot as well, I'm sure, from this experience, regardless of the outcome. For many of the Super Eagles, just a taste of international action to whet the appetite. There's not always a trophy at the end of it, but they can enjoy today. Makes it that little bit extra special, doesn't it, for those in particular that have made their debut today. Spirit that we've referenced throughout this competition, all too evident in the presentation here. Nothing was handed out to anybody here. They've had to work for it. They've had to really dig deep. And that is their reward. Challenges to come in terms of what is at stake, but this will help. And in this precise moment, that really is academic, because this is about the moment. He scored the winning penalty. Big smile on the face of Crisanto Suche. This is the day that he will never forget. We were here to see it, and here comes the presentation then to the captain, Moses Simon. Has the trophy in his hands. They are still the only team victorious in the Unity Cup. They won the earlier iterations in 2002 and 2004, and now 21 years on, Nigeria lift the Unity Cup again. Moses Simon determined that everybody will be involved in these celebrations. Has his hands on the silverware. They enjoy the moment. Unity Cup winners 2025. Nigeria needed penalties to see off Jamaica in a compelling contest in the final to get their hands on that. It has been exclusively their property. And a generation on, they lift it again. They are rightly determined to enjoy it. But Barley wasn't in the end required to save a penalty, was he? The only one that didn't end up in the net, hit the bar. Costly one from Dwayne Atkinson of Jamaica, but to single anybody out would be churlish. They played their part in taking this the distance. But Nigeria inch perfect from the penalty spot. All 5 kicks delivered with real composure, which is why they've been able to get their hands on this trophy. 80 games and a decade into his international career, and it will still mean so much to Moses Simon, particularly overseeing this success alongside so many of the newcomers, the younger players, in particular Benjamin Frederick, who came through Moses Simon's academy back home in Kaduna. Together, they've lined up in the same team that has won the Unity Cup, and they are both part of this huge group effort that's delivered what they came here to do. Certainly after seeing off Ghana in the semi-finals, they came into this one as the favourites. You wouldn't necessarily always know it from the way the game went. They were pushing for the win at the end of the 90. They weren't able to edge ahead for a third time, but ultimately they didn't need to. And Eric Schell and his team will channel this positivity, this feel-good factor, I'm sure, in the games to come. Swiftly on to Moscow next for that friendly with Russia on Friday. And then World Cup qualifying to be completed in the autumn. They go into those games with a trophy in the cabinet. There had been an intention to bring this Unity Cup back to the footballing calendar for a number of years. They were hopeful of doing it pre-COVID. It didn't happen because of that. It has happened now, and how everyone involved in it has enjoyed it. Memories made for a new generation. Communities brought together, friendships fostered. You wouldn't necessarily have known that from the way it was contested on the field, but that was all forgotten as soon as the whistle went. And a successful shootout for Nigeria has sparked the celebrations that everyone is getting involved in. They partied for much of the day, in fairness, but they do so now with a little extra emphasis, a further spring in the step, and they will enjoy the evening. Not often that they get the chance to see their team lift the trophy. For many of the supporters in the stands, not often that they get to see their team in person. Congratulations to all 4 nations who have served up such a spectacle over the last few days at the GTEC Community Stadium in West London, representing West Africa and the West Indies with real style, with real pride. But extra congratulations at the end to Nigeria. We will leave you with scenes of their celebrations. Nigeria winners of the Unity Cup again. They take the trophy in 2025.